Refrigerator Full of Heads, issue 2, Real Yours, with Tom Fuller on the art.
Mm-hmm.
So I dug the first issue. This, the pulpy, the shark head, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This issue ties it back into the first story a bit more. We meet June again, who's working at a daycare centre, another part of the country. But we basically get that the biker gang in Brody Island and these like fake FBI agents who come to speak to her both work for the same big baddie who wants the axe. So they actually end the issue by kidnapping her and saying we're on our way to Brody Island. So that's kind of the bookend with her. It was nice to see her again, though.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
I mean, and considering that she is the one that threw the axe out, right? As she crossed the bridge. So of course she was the last one with it. That's why they would be going after her.
Yeah. But the biker gang stops our main couple from this. Was it Cal and.
Where are their names?
Their name, yeah. I don't know their names yet. But a lot of it's this big fight scene where the bikers stop them, shoot out their tire, and they're beating the crap out of him a little bit. But then, of course, they find the axe. They know what the axe is, which then ties them into this is for our boss. Like they're here looking for the axe, and we're still teasing what the couple are here for. Clearly, there's more to it than just on vacation. But the woman grabs the axe and just starts decapitating them, like without giving it much thought either, which really suggests that they do have some sort of background where they're more capable of and willing to like start killing people in moments of danger.
Yeah, and I also like to think that the axe just has that quality because we saw kind of the same with June.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
right. Like once the axe starts going through skin, it doesn't stop until the head's gone. And I like that, and the guy that tumbles down when Cal
my favorite part of this is the bald guy biker who gets his head cut off and he tumbles down to the beach and then he tries to move, so he starts rolling his head to get to safety and get away from the seagulls. Is actually that's part, much like the shark in the first issue, this guy trying to move himself and then almost getting hit by a truck on the road as he's rolling his head around is really funny to me. And him like bouncing around and all the rest of it.
I'm going F the open road. I'm going cross country. Okay, you figure it out, my guy. There's just a sense of humor to this series that, like, we talked about how it does feel like an 80s horror franchise, that they're two, like, the tones are a little bit different from the first one to this one, because this one feels like it's playing a little bit more with the comedy aspect than the first one did.
For sure.
And I appreciate that. And then also, if I remember right, go ahead.
I was going to say, the other two heads they take back for information. They threaten to throw them into the shark's mouth and then put them in the titular refrigerator. And that's the big thing. And the head that's rolling around is still trying to get to his boss. So that's presumably going to be a plot point that comes up. But so they bring up when they go to put the heads in, like, what about the other Norse artifacts that have gone missing? Like the belt of Jormungandr, which is actually Thor's belt. That's how he's able to lift heavy things. And the sword of Hugin and Munin, which is some more mythology stuff. And they also mentioned the dagger from like the start of issue
from
1.
The first
from the couple that got murdered,
And these guys, the bikers, won't talk because they don't know anything about that. But I like that. But I was going to say, I remember breezing through the backup that I still need to find if it's collected somewhere, that Joe Hill wrote that brought in the origin. It was the werewolf book.
The Sea Dogs.
The Sea Dogs, yeah.
I'm sure it was collected somewhere.
That that ties the axe, as we saw in that. I remember thumbing through that when we were reading all the Hill House books. The origin of this axe, and I'm just wondering if that plays into this. If this is doing its own thing. Because if so, that's pretty cool. It's very Stephen King-esque. Pulling pieces from other stories and doing stories around it. I really enjoyed this issue.
I did too. And the art's really pulpy and fun. The head bouncing around and rolling around being the notable one. But even just like when they're threatening the other heads by like sort of holding it in front of the shark's mouth, and this is like the panels coming from inside the shark's mouth, so you see all the teeth around the edges, but you just see all the lettering that say going chomp 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 chomp. Like, it's just really fun, really pleasant. It's a good time. What are you giving it, Matt?
I am giving this an 8.
Yeah, I think I will too. Yeah, there you go.